You've given so much. You've bent over backwards for someone who claimed they were suffering right alongside you. You believed in their pain. You thought their sacrifices were real, but somehow the more you gave, the less they seemed satisfied. Every word you said, every choice you made was never enough. You started feeling guilty for existing, questioning yourself, doubting your own instincts. That pit in your stomach when they sigh about how much they've done for you. That's not love. That's control. That's emotional manipulation. And here's the truth. This isn't just about one argument, one harsh word, or one moment of resentment. This is about a pattern designed to keep you off balance, doubting yourself, and trapped in trauma bonding. Most people miss it because the resentful martyr doesn't look like a narcissist. They appear selfless. They appear caring. They appear hurt for your sake. But behind the mask lies covert narcissism, resentment disguised as sacrifice, and manipulation wrapped in kindness. And once you see it, once you truly understand it, the way you interact with relationships, boundaries, and trust will shift completely. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this manipulative behavior before it drains another ounce of your energy. You'll understand the subtle ways emotional abuse is disguised as care, and you'll reclaim your life without feeling guilty. You'll feel lighter, you'll feel free, and you'll understand why the hardest people to deal with are often the ones who seem to give the most. It starts quietly, almost imperceptibly. They tell you, "I've sacrificed so much for you," and you nod because it sounds noble. It sounds sincere. But then you notice the pattern. Every act of kindness, every favor, every compromise is quietly logged in their mind. And if you don't notice it, if you don't thank them, or worse, if you do something for yourself, they sigh, frown, or give you a look that makes your chest tighten, and then the guilt begins to seep in. You start apologizing for things you didn't do. You start justifying your choices, wondering if you really are too selfish. And here's the part most people miss. They are counting on that doubt. That is the invisible thread that keeps you connected to their control. But the real twist is, there's an even darker layer beneath this counting of favors, one they hope you'll never see. You see, their selfless stories aren't just stories, they're a strategy. Every complaint, every "I've given so much," is a subtle test of your boundaries. They are watching, waiting to see how much they can push before you push back. And when you finally do, they act shocked, indignant, as if they are the victim in a situation they created themselves. It's exhausting, confusing, and maddening, but it gets even more complicated, because these martyrs often appear saintly to outsiders. Friends, family, even co-workers see patience, generosity, devotion. But you, the one who feels the pinch of their resentment daily, know something others don't. You feel the tension, the judgment, the quiet pressure that no one else seems to notice. And what they show to the world is just enough to make you question yourself. You wonder, am I really overreacting? Am I imagining the resentment? But the answer is not what you think. This covert form of narcissistic abuse is designed to trap you in what psychologists call trauma bonding. You are emotionally tethered, pulled in by the charm of care and sacrifice, but at the same time tied down by manipulation. And here's the cruel irony. The closer you get to understanding them, the deeper the trap can feel. You feel like leaving would be cruel, even when staying hurts you. But the truth is, leaving isn't just possible, it's the key to reclaiming your power. What's more, the resentful martyr uses subtle passive aggression to maintain control. A complaint disguised as concern, a criticism dressed as guidance, a sigh disguised as despair. Every small action is a reminder of your failings, and if you ever point it out, they'll frame it as an overreaction on your part, making you doubt your perception of reality. It's so subtle that you start questioning your own mind. And the part that shocks people most is how they can do this without ever raising their voice. The mastery lies in invisibility. They don't scream or rage, they whisper, hint and sigh in ways that eat away at your self-worth over time. And the most dangerous part is that they are masters at flipping the narrative. One day you're the problem, and the next, you're being thanked for enduring their pain. You're left spinning, exhausted and hungry for a resolution that never comes. And just when you think you've figured it out, there's another twist, another layer they've hidden in plain sight. Because the resentful martyr doesn't just want compliance, they crave emotional validation. They thrive on guilt, on fear, on your attempts to fix things. And as long as you keep engaging with their story of suffering, you unknowingly feed the very behavior that drains you. You're giving attention, energy, empathy, everything they have trained you to give, while they remain insulated, untouchable, untamed. But what if I told you there's a way to stop feeding the cycle without becoming cold, distant, or unkind? That the key is not in confrontation, but in strategy. It starts with awareness. Once you understand the patterns, once you can see the subtle manipulations for what they are, the emotional leverage they hold over you disappears. Their sighs, their complaints, their passive-aggressive jabs, they lose their power the moment you stop reacting. And when you stop reacting, you reclaim your space, your peace, your energy. You begin to see them for what they truly are, and suddenly the fear of leaving or the guilt of staying begins to dissolve. And here's where most people get stuck. They try to confront, explain, or reason with the resentful martyr. That never works. Their story is too well rehearsed, their mask too convincing. But when you learn the subtle art of detachment, when you recognize emotional manipulation for what it is, something unexpected happens. You start feeling lighter, freer, unshackled. And just when you think it can't get any clearer, there's one final insight that changes everything. The resentful martyr feeds on invisibility, but you don't have to. Once you establish boundaries, once you see through the act, the dynamic flips. You can interact without losing yourself. You can care without being drained. You can give without being trapped. And the most powerful realization of all, you don't need their approval. You never did. Their resentment isn't your responsibility. And when you finally grasp this, the entire relationship transforms, or it ends on your terms. And the freedom you feel is unlike anything you've ever experienced. Now you know the truth. The resentful martyr isn't really sacrificing. They are controlling, manipulating, and feeding on your energy while presenting the illusion of selflessness. But understanding this isn't just knowledge, it's power. The power to step back, protect your boundaries, and stop the cycle of trauma bonding. You can interact without guilt. You can care without losing yourself. You can finally reclaim your confidence, your clarity, and your peace. And every time they sigh, complain, or manipulate, you'll see it, you'll name it, and you'll no longer be drawn into it. If you've ever felt exhausted by someone who claims they're suffering for your sake, or you've been trapped in guilt disguised as care, this is your moment of clarity. You can step out of the cycle. You can protect yourself, and you can start building relationships that uplift you rather than drain you. If this video resonated with you, if you've ever faced covert narcissism, emotional manipulation, or narcissistic abuse, make sure to subscribe. Because here we break the patterns that keep you stuck. We reveal what they hope you'll never see, and we give you the tools to reclaim your life with confidence. You're not alone in this, and your freedom starts the moment you decide it does.